morning and welcome to the USD 393 Solomon Update. It is March 1st in fact, although it doesn't feel like it outside with the winter storm on the horizon for this weekend, but we hope to see spring sooner than later because it's been a long winter. With me today though, one of the things that is exciting, and you know, with spring comes things that are new and fresh, and a week from today you're looking at a few of the cast members for Leaving Iowa, the all-school play that is going to be performed on Friday, March 8th at 7 o'clock, free will donation here in the middle school gymnasium / auditorium for us and on the stage. And so with me are a few of the cast members, and I'd like them to introduce themselves, and then we'll talk a little bit about the Leaving Iowa production.
I'm Patrick Crippen. I play the part of Dad in the play. I'm a sophomore in high school, and I'd say the most interesting part about this rehearsal has just been, I'd have to say, the level of props we've used. It's been pretty interesting.
Good.
I'm Danny Hagan. I am a junior, and I play the role of mom and older mom. They're pretty much the same character. Probably my favorite part of rehearsals so far is one day there was basketball practice in the gym, and I have this really interesting scene where I get to scream at the other cast members, and it's really fun. And I said my line, and everything in the gym went silent, and we had the curtain closed, and you could hear my voice echo through the gym. It was the greatest day ever.
Well, awesome. Real quick before we move on to Bobby, as you can hear, speaking of the gymnasium, you might hear a little bit of the elementary school, because it's, like we said, back when the gymnasiums were built, you had a gymnasium / auditorium. So if you hear some background noise, it's actually our elementary PE taking place behind the curtains. So it is definitely fitting with your story.
All right. I am Bobby Robinson. I am a senior at Solomon High, and I am playing the lead role of Don Browning. Don is your typical 30-year-old writer from Boston, probably for the Bugle, but he also has this side to him where he tries to overanalyze every little detail that he comes across. So my favorite part of rehearsals is trying to figure out what details is Don trying to analyze within this line, because Don will be like, well, I have this option, or this option, but he never knows which one to choose and always ends up choosing the wrong one.
I'm Tara Richard, and I play Sis in the play. I am a sophomore, and I have to say that my favorite part in the play has been being able to get away with picking on other cast members due to my role.
So tell us a little bit about one of you. One of the questions I want to ask is, how big is the staff? And who's done all the props? You alluded to the props a little bit in your intro, and so tell me a little bit about the staff. What is Leaving Iowa about, and how big is it?
Okay, Leaving Iowa is about the story of Don Browning, who lost his father 3 years ago and is trying to do a good deed and spread his father's ashes at his grandparents' farm. But he runs into some trouble along the way. And all of our props were made by us or brought in by us or bought from Goodwill. We try to save as much money as possible by bringing in what we have or using what we already had from past productions.
Good. And I know you also did a few concession stands and to raise some money that way too.
Yes,
so,
that
good.
always helps.
Good. So next question is, what's been the hardest part? Has it been hard to memorize lines, or has it been actually creating some of the props, or maybe figuring out your costume design? Tell me a little about what's in the hardest part of the school performance.
Probably the hardest part for me is coordinating schedules with like the rehearsals and everything. I work for the after-school program, and I have to be there almost every day. So I end up being late to rehearsal. So it's a lot harder to work with the other cast. Other than that, I think it's been not easy, but it's been nice working with them, and they've made it easier learning my lines and everything. So
Well, what's been the most enjoyment for you guys so far in the process? What's been probably you alluded to the highlight as far as picking on your cast members and the character that you play. What have maybe, one of the great things about being a part of a school play is the fact that it's also the camaraderie, even when you're just yourselves. So what's maybe been some of the highlights and some of maybe a funny story during rehearsal?
I say some of the highlights have been just seeing scenes come together and having a scene that just works. I say some of the highlights have been when lines are misspoken, but they're said in such a way that it just makes the scene come off as funny or better in a way, so we decide to keep some of the changes.
Good. Good. It's part of that impromptu, and so that's great. When people come out, what should they expect? How long is it? Is it a comedy that all ages are going to understand? And what's something maybe that they should look forward to as they come next Friday on March 8th?
Okay, so our production is a little bit more geared towards high school students or older. There are a couple of jokes in there that are meant for the adults in the room, but it's also just a funny comedy that anybody can understand the main premise of. Sure, there will be the jokes here and there that the little kids won't understand and ask their mom and dad later, but you'll get the main premise of it's a boy trying to do the right thing for his family.
Right. Last question, when's the final dress rehearsal, and are you anxious, nervous? What are their feelings going into next week?
The final dress rehearsal is on Friday, March 8th. And I suppose a lot of people in the cast would be feeling rather anxious, but also excited. We've been working on this for a while and
Good.
have had a lot less time to work on it than most other performances.
Well, good. Good. Well, as you can see, they've put in a lot of time and hard work. And next Friday, March 8th, we'd like to see everybody come out, 7 o'clock. Like we said, come in through the district office doors. It's a free will donation. Bring your family, bring your friends. A night of entertainment on the hard work of these fine students and all the things that they do. As you can tell, they're involved in so many things, not only here as far as the school play, but other things at our school. And they're putting their talents and exhibiting them here on stage next Friday. Next Friday, 7 o'clock here at the Solomon High School Auditorium. We'll be right back with more updates about Solomon.
Are you frustrated with Wi-Fi dead zones in your home? It happens when you don't have Boost, the cutting-edge Wi-Fi solution from Eagle Communications. A Boost-certified Eagle technician maps your home, then installs a dual-band modem and router, plus discrete access points to deliver wall-to-wall Wi-Fi with no dead zones. Boost powers all your family's devices in all the places you love to live. Get Boost, Wi-Fi made simple, only from Eagle Communications. Call today.
Welcome back. What a great opportunity to see a little bit about the ins and outs of our school play. What's even more special about it is the fact that we have an alum that came back and has been a substitute teacher, and we couldn't find anybody to take on the school play last year, and we actually had a substitute come back, and Mr. Minimum has done a tremendous job and said, I'd love to take it on, and he enjoyed it when he was in high school and some of his experiences, and so kudos to him for stepping up and providing this opportunity for our kids. It truly is one of the nice things about a small school, and one of the bad things about a small school, it takes everybody, and sometimes it's hard to find people to branch out of their comfort zone and to sponsor it or to do something, and so it's great to have Paul Minimum in charge of it. He's done a tremendous job in organizing the play and putting the kids in a great spot to experience something that I feel every student in high school should have the opportunity to experience, because it is something that it does push kids out of their comfort zone, and they get to grow beyond the walls of the classroom per se. Some things that are happening this time of year, we just finished up parent-teacher conferences, and I've got to say a couple shout outs to Mr. Smedley, our high school counselor, and to Mr. Owen, our high school principal. They did a great job in preparing our staff for a little bit. We're slowly going into student-led conferences and more of an individual plans of study, to where they're preparing for next year already and sitting down and talking about what do you want to be, where do you want to go to school, if you're going to go to school, are you going to go to tech, what trade are you going to possibly be involved in after school, and then how do we make those things happen. And so through setting that up and going through the student-led conferences and then talking about next year's schedule, our attendance went up 20% this year as compared to last spring, and our attendance for parent-teacher conferences. So that's a credit to our staff. That's also a credit to our parents becoming more involved and understanding that they play a vital role in the success of our kids and their future beyond high school. And so I want to thank everybody involved, and it starts with the two guys that helped organize it, but it also ends with our parents going with their kids and being involved and making sure that they're taking the classes necessary next year and preparing for their future beyond Solomon High School. So that's a great thing. We're wrapping up. I know I said it's March 1st. It does not feel like spring. We haven't had that week. Usually you get that week in March where you're like, yes, spring's on the way. We haven't had that. People have asked me many times, are we close to our days and our snow days? Yeah, we're close, and we're closer with our seniors because seniors go less than everybody else, and so they still have to meet the minimum requirements, and we're watching that and monitoring it. I hope and pray that we are done with snow days and late starts and all that goes with the winter. It's one of those things. It's been a tough winter. I think that on Groundhog Day, I have a feeling that he might have lied to us a little bit because it seems like spring's never going to get here. But hopefully it'll be right around the corner for us. And that goes to my last point, is the fact that this time of year it's tough because I know that the flu season, just this morning on the news, we were talking about the flu in Kansas and how 2 weeks ago, last year was the peak, and 3 weeks ago, 2 years ago was the peak. Whereas right now we haven't even reached the peak of flu season for Kansas. So they're projecting that next week and possibly 2 weeks down the road is when we'll hit the peak. And so I know it has hit us in the elementary school and the high school. Our staff has been sick, and I know you as parents have struggled with time off of work, and we just ask that you, make sure you take care of your kids, take care of yourselves. Keep your kids home. You know, if they've been throwing up or vomiting or have had a high fever, we're going to try to keep it as minimal. So far this year, we haven't had a wide outbreak. We've had a few classes where we've had 6, 7 gone in a class, but nothing where it's been, several grade levels all together. So we're very fortunate with that. Thanks to your efforts on that and making sure that you keep your kids home. We know that's tough. Speaking from myself with 4 kids, I know that with my wife and I, we've been in and out at home with different kids throughout the last few weeks, and so I know that's difficult and challenging. And like I said, we're here to help. Nurse Mary does a great job. If you have questions or concerns, please get with her, and she'd love to visit with you about possible ways to help out with some things you can do at home. And we disinfect a deep clean. Every Friday is a deep clean, and then we also do, of course, our daily maintenance and trying to get rid of all the nasty bugs that go around in the school. Hey, it's been a great school year so far, and it's been tremendous. And I think in my 5 years here, this has been probably the smoothest year we've had, and that is because of the outstanding staff that we have had, whether it has been our custodians, whether it's been our bus drivers, whether it's been our paras. Our teachers, of course, have done a tremendous job. I'm so proud of the staff and the things that they've done this year, and the things that they continue to do and to grow and to give back to our kids in a positive way. So there's a lot to be proud of here at Solomon. There's a lot to be proud of things that are going on and things that are going to happen in the future. And we are a week away from spring break. March 8th is the last day, and then we'll be off that following week for spring break. I hope that you get a chance to rest with your family, get healthy as we gear up for the finish of the school year, because it seems like once we get back from spring break, time flies. I can't believe we're already at March 1st. I thank you all for all your efforts in making it a successful year. We've had great attendance on site councils this year, great input, great feedback, and I think that's what's that really keeps our staff motivated, is to see the involvement of our parents and our community, and credit goes to everybody involved. It's one of the great unique opportunities that we have that do exist to being a part of a small school. So I thank you for that and for making it our school and making it a special place to be. So until next time, I wish you well, and we'll see you back in April.